Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing part 3 of the PSA JAKL 308. This is the accuracy review. So just a heads up, this is a Trijicon 1 in 8 LPVO we have on here. And then the types of ammo that I shot, went through 3 different types. We've got X-TAC, this is 147 grain. We have the Saber Black Tip, oops, wrong way, the AAC ammo from Palmetto. And we have the Federal Sierra Match King 175 grain. It's really expensive, and in my previous testing, very good ammo. So before we start, just a heads up, I am not the world's best shooter by any means. I'm a pretty fair shot, though, I like to think. I'm certainly not the worst. So just bear that in mind as we go through these results, and we'll talk about it. And yeah, let's change that camera angle around, and we'll go over them. All right, folks, on the table here, we have the PSA Saber. This is the black tip that we have here. Each brand of ammo I did 2 rounds of, just to make sure that I was giving it a fair chance. So I'm going to actually start with the worst ammo that performed in the gun to the best, okay? So this was the worst. This did not seem to matched very well, to say the least, with the JAKL. So here's a quarter to give you an idea of the spacing here. Now, I generally felt pretty good pulling these shots. Shooting these. I didn't feel like I pulled anything. But, I mean, you were talking about 4 inches there, 3.5 there, 4 there. So, overall, it did not seem to like the Saber Black Tip a whole bunch. So that was the first round, and then let's go to the second round. And actually, I'll just try and keep this here for context. So first round, second round, you can see here, maybe pulled it in a little bit, but I think the results are pretty much the same. So that's just under 3 inches. Oops. That is almost just over 3.5 up to 4. And 4 inches. So I would say they're relatively similar. And so, yeah, so this was number 2, this was number 1. So definitely not fantastic. Okay, now moving on, this was the X-TAC, and this was round number 1. Again, there's my quarter. This one did pull in a little bit closer, as you can see. It's definitely not as far as apart. And so let's just check that out. Let's put that quarter there. So you've got 3.5. Is the widest one there. That's 3 inches. So the widest part there, as I say, is 3.5. But it definitely got a little. It definitely gripped a little closer on this one with the X-TAC ammo. And I've generally had pretty good results with the X-TAC, PMC X-TAC in the past. That's why I picked this one up to try it out. So let's go to the round 2. Again, we'll put number 1 to the side. This is round number 2, and actually this one, you know, we got some really good gripping right there. But again, you know, we've got these ones over here. I mean, you're talking under 3 inches. That one's about 2.5. So it definitely did a lot better than the black tip from AAC ammo, that Saber stuff. So it definitely gripped a little better. Now, again, I you know, when I was shooting, I didn't really feel like, I felt like most of the shots were good. I didn't feel like I was really pulling anything. So a lot of these were kind of a surprise when I seen these. Sorry. All right, so let's go to Federal. This is the Federal Gold Match Sierra King. So this is the best results. Actually, the first round I shot is actually the best results of the day, as you can see here. So let's put a quarter there. And you can see the grouping is pretty good. And these are all at 100 yards, by the way. Sorry, I did forget to mention that. These are all at 100 yards. So let's have a look. The widest one we got here is 2 inches. That's under 2. So under 2 inches for this grouping. This was a lot better. I mean, it's still not spectacular, but I was definitely happier with this grouping out of the other ones that we did. So that is the best grouping of the day. This was the second round that I did, and it's not quite as good as the first. We've got 2.5 inches there. That's the widest mark. Put that quarter back to give you some context. So not terrible. Let's say the first round was definitely a little better. So overall, it's definitely not a 1 MOA gun, which I wasn't expecting. But the results did surprise me a little bit. As I say, with the Federal, it did pretty good. Not fantastic, but it did pretty good. And with the Saber, with the X-TAC, mediocre at best. And with the black tip, let's face it, it was just pretty horrendous. So, yeah. So as you've seen by the results, I'm not very impressed with the accuracy of the gun. Obviously, we did have one grouping that was relatively decent. I'm not the best shooter in the world, but I'm not the worst. I'd say, I'm pretty, I'm definitely middle upwards, I would say, like for shot wise, I'm not too bad. So I personally, I was pretty disappointed. I thought it would be a little bit more accurate, to say the least. Things that could help that is, better shooter maybe. And then 2, I would put in a 2-stage trigger in the gun. That would probably help tighten those groups up a little bit. But overall, not super impressed personally. Anyway, so yeah, that's the results. Let me know your thoughts on those results. Were you surprised? Was it where you thought it would be? And yeah, that's it. All right, folks, until next time, we'll catch you later.